Good day, everyone. My name is Shredra. Welcome to the 9th episode of Isla Ivatan. I hope that everyone is having a great day so far. Last episode, I worked on this asset that I have. It's in my workshop. It's the palenque. And I also worked on the basketball court right behind it. And then I worked on this city hall on my Facebook live stream. This city hall is very, very beautiful asset by Armesto. It's called Orense City Hall. I picked this one because it is a Spanish style architecture, which you can pretty much spot everywhere in the Philippines. So just FYI, the Philippines was Spanish colony between 1521 and 1898. Looking over here next to the plaza, I don't like this parking lot over here since Isla Ivatan is a fairly small island. I don't want to spam it with parking lots. So I'm going to attempt to create an underground parking. So let's get to it. By the way, I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone. I hope that you are having a good 2020 so far, despite of all the crazy things that are happening in the world. Last week we just had the tensions going on in the Middle East, and then Australia is still burning. Before the end of 2019, there was a typhoon in the Philippines that killed at least 28 people. Then the southern part of the Philippines was kept on getting rocked by earthquakes. And now the Taal volcano is erupting. Taal volcano is about 100 kilometers from Manila. Volcanic ashes are covering most of southern Tagalog region. And there's still an impending big explosion in the next couple of days or so. Hopefully it won't happen. So to all of my kababayan over there, I hope that you are getting all the help that you need. I hope that all of you are safe, and my prayers goes out to all of you. I remember the eruption of Mount Pinatubo in 1991. I was about 7 years old. I was living in Manila and we were covered in volcanic ashes for several days. There was also a typhoon at the same time, and the ashes from the volcano turned into lahar. The surrounding provinces were destroyed. More than 700 people died and displaced about 200,000 people. The homeless people flocked into nearby regions, especially into Metro Manila. The spike of informal settlers in Manila was pretty apparent from then, which you could still see today. See, it's all connected, you know. Now, here we are. It's like being back to square one again. But hopefully the government are doing their job to help my poor countrymen. Anyways, enough with the negative things. Let's focus on the good things now. Couple of things that are new to this channel. As you saw in the beginning, I have a new intro. I thought that was pretty cool. It's not going to be that long every time. That was just the compilation from last year. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment below. Just don't be too harsh, alright? I'm still new at this. Another good news for me is I'm using a new graphics card. I've upgraded my GTX 1050 Ti into RTX 1070. I thought it really made a dramatic improvement. You can check out my previous videos and tell me if you see any difference. And now I could make video with a better frame rate. In game, I could get like 27 FPS on high settings, which is pretty darn good despite of 100 mods and thousands of assets I'm subscribed to. So if you're wondering what assets and mods I'm using, I made an asset collection in the workshop. It's called Isla Ivatan Asset Collection. I will leave a link in the description just in case you are interested. Just a caveat, when you go to the collection, do not just hit subscribe all. Mods are very heavy on CPU and eats a lot of RAM. So just pick whatever you need right now and just come back later if you need more. I've done it in the past. I hit subscribe all in Fresh Popcorn's asset collection, and the game was just stuck in the loading screen. So don't do that, guys, unless you have really powerful CPU and at least 32 gigabytes of RAM. What else? So me and my wife just bought a new house. We just moved in before Christmas. We still have several boxes laying around, but we are settled for the most part. I turned one bedroom to my new office / man cave, so now I have a better setup and workflow, and I could live stream. I've tried live streaming on Facebook, but I'll probably won't do that again because Facebook compresses the video so much it is unwatchable in my opinion. It really doesn't matter how good your equipment is, Facebook still renders the video to lower image quality. Maybe I'll start live streaming on this channel instead of making videos like this. I don't know, maybe. Just maybe. Because making videos like this takes a lot of time, you know. Between my day job, my personal life, and my family, then creating assets, playing the game, editing the video. That's a lot, you know. Speaking of assets, I have several new assets specifically made for this series. They are commercial assets native to the Philippines. So if you stick around, I'll show it to you during the live play. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel while watching this time lapse. I'll be back in a moment. back. Thank you for sticking around. This is now the new plaza with the underground parking. I used several invisible sidewalk, and as you can see, people are actually using them to get across the park. Now, like I said before, I have several new assets that I'm going to show you. First one is the police station. Of course, we need the support of the police with the current drug problem in Isla Ivatan. As you may know, there is an illegal marijuana farm somewhere in the island. If you want to see it, I believe it's in episode 5. Just a disclaimer, everything that I build here is just from pure imagination. The topography is real, but the city itself is just fictional. I'm just making stories up as I go along. But anyways, there is an illegal weed farm somewhere in the island. Maybe the police doesn't know where it's at, or do they? Or maybe they are protecting them. Or maybe the El Presidente is protecting them. I don't know. No one knows. I'll just keep my mouth shut so I won't get assassinated. The next asset I'm going to show you guys is the Philippine National Police mobile truck. Ish. The original asset was made by Ronix 69. It was the Daihatsu Hijet. I replaced the truck bed with the carriage. I asked Ronix for permission to edit his asset, and I told him that I'll put him as co-creator, and he said, just mention me in the description. And I thought that was cool. So thank you, Ronix. He is one of my favorite asset creator. Probably 75% of the assets I'm using here was by him. The police station itself was made by asset creator named Azaza. It was the Taiwanese police station. I just edited the signage. So if anyone wants this asset, just let me know in the comment so I could ask the original creator for permission. Now I'm just adding details here and there, make it look like raggedy looking. Little imperfection adds a little bit of realism, you know. Now, the City Hall employees need someplace to eat when they're on their lunchtime. So I added this McDonald's. This asset was made by Waya. And then the next Philippine asset I'm going to show you guys is the Banco de Oro. It is the largest banking company in the Philippines. If you go to the Philippines right now, you'll see this in every corner. And my wife used to work there 10 years ago. And now we have the Andoks. It is a very popular roasted chicken store, or as we call it, lechon manok. Their chicken is so good, I could smell it right now just by looking at this. And like always, we'll add a little bit of detail. I'm gonna add a bench tucked in the back. That way, you know, the employees will have somewhere to go to during their smoke break. Whatever it is they're smoking back there. I know that this won't be visible at all, but you know, just add a little bit of character into this scene. Just add a little bit of mystery to the story of this city. The next asset is the Jollibee. It is the most popular fast food chain in the Philippines. It is the number one reason why McDonald's are struggling in the Philippines. I know that there are a couple of Jollibees in the workshop right now, but they have not been updated in a long time. They don't fit at all in this city, so I decided to create one from scratch. This will be available in my Steam workshop. And I'm gonna add details. I'm gonna put this homeless guy outside. There's always a homeless guy outside Jollibee, or even just random kids. They're not even homeless, they're just there begging for food. And then the last asset I'm going to show you guys is the Mang Inasal restaurant. It is a barbecue place because Filipinos loves barbecue. They have all kinds of stuff. They have chicken barbecue, pork barbecue, grilled fish, and of course my favorite, pork sisig. And I think that's pretty much it for this episode, guys. I hope you liked this video, and I'm gonna need help from you guys for the next episode because I have no idea what to do next. So if you have any suggestions at all, please let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, leave me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Otherwise, mabuhay, and see you next time.